This episode is brought to you by SimplyExpat. That's SimplyExpat, one word.
SimplyExpat. So you're itching to ditch the tourist traps in the Philippines, huh? You want those hidden gems, those places that really capture what the islands are all about.
We'll get ready because we found some seriously incredible under-the-radar destinations.
I know, right? Like, we were totally captivated by the descriptions on that Flavors of the World podcast.
They dished out some tempting details about Filipino cities you might not have even heard of.
And isn't that what's so exciting about a deep dive like this? Discovering the unexpected.
It's like they tapped into that desire for something more authentic, more off the beaten path.
Right. Like take Aurora, for example. They describe these secluded beaches and waterfalls nestled in these lush landscapes.
Oh yeah, and they said those waterfalls are some of the most stunning in the whole Philippines.
I know. But it's not just about the scenery, right?
Exactly. They mentioned Aurora being a haven for ecotourism, which really resonated with me.
Yeah, me too. It's like it's not just about snapping a selfie in front of a waterfall. It's about really immersing yourself in that untouched natural beauty.
Right. Imagine hiking through those pristine rainforests, kayaking through hidden coves, maybe even spotting some rare wildlife. It's a different experience.
Okay, I'm sold on Aurora. But they also couldn't stop talking about Iloilo, the city of love. And I have to say, their descriptions totally warmed my heart.
Well, you're drawn to genuine human connection, and I think that really shines through in their portrayal of Iloilo.
Yes. They kept mentioning the incredible warmth and hospitality of the locals.
It's like that welcoming spirit is just woven into the very fabric of the city. Did you catch that anecdote about the visitor who got lost?
Oh, yeah. And ended up being invited to a local family's home for dinner. I mean, how amazing is that?
It speaks volumes about their culture. They also highlighted that captivating contrast in Iloilo, that relaxed, almost sleepy vibe on the surface. But underneath, it's brimming with rich history and culture.
It's like a hidden gem waiting to be discovered. Think about it. Centuries-old Spanish colonial churches next to these bustling modern markets.
The history buff's dream, right?
Wait, hold up. Before we get to the historical treasures, we have to talk about the food.
Oh, yeah. What do they call it?
Iloilo's Paz Batchoy. Remember, they described this hearty noodle soup simmered for hours with pork, shrimp, and veggies.
A symphony of flavors.
My mouth is watering just thinking about it.
It's amazing how food can just transport you to a place even before you've even set foot there.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've got untouched natural beauty in Aurora. We've got the warmth and history of Iloilo. What other treasures did they unearth?
Well, let's switch gears from the serene to the downright festive.
Oh, right.
Because they could not stop raving about Bacolod, fondly known as the City of Smiles.
Bacolod. Now I think I know exactly why it's called the City of Smiles. That MassKara festival they were gushing about sounds incredible.
So vibrant, so full of life. They made it sound incredible with all those colorful masks, the music, the dancing in the streets. And you know what's so captivating? It's more than just a spectacle. It's a celebration that's deeply rooted in the city's history. Back in the 80s, Bacolod faced this major economic crisis.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, the sugar industry, which the city really relied on, collapsed. And it hit them hard.
So how did a festival help them through that?
Well, the locals decided to fight back against adversity with a smile. Literally. They created this festival filled with music, dance, and those iconic smiling masks to kind of uplift their spirits and show the world that they wouldn't be defeated.
Wow. That's actually really moving. It's like a testament to the human spirit. To turn hardship into something so joyful and celebratory. I have so much respect for that.
Don't you think it makes the festival even more enticing now? To witness that energy, that spirit of resilience firsthand.
Absolutely. It's not just about the spectacle. It's about tapping into the heart and soul of a community. And speaking of the heart and soul of a place, you mentioned food earlier. Did Flavors of the World talk about the food in Bacolod?
Oh, yeah. You can't talk about Bacolod without mentioning their inasal.
Inasal. That's the grilled chicken, right?
Exactly. But it's not just any grilled chicken. This is chicken marinated in this like tangy, savory blend of their local spices and ingredients. Then they grill it over hot coals until it's so perfectly charred on the outside and juicy on the inside.
Okay, now I'm starving. It's funny how food can be so evocative, right?
It really is. It's like a sensory souvenir, a taste that brings you right back.
Totally. Okay, so we've got the serene escapes of Aurora. We've got the heartwarming embrace of Iloilo, the vibrant spirit of Bacolod. I'm ready to book my ticket. But something tells me there's more. Like, we've only scratched the surface of the Philippines.
You're right. We've journeyed through Luzon and Visayas, But what about Mindanao?
Mindanao.
Flavors of the world
Hmm.
definitely piqued my curiosity about the southern Philippines, even though they only briefly mentioned it.
Right. They mentioned Davao, which I've heard is beautiful, but they said there's so much more to see in Mindanao. It's like this whole other world hasn't been completely discovered by tourists yet.
It really is. It's like a microcosm of the Philippines itself. You've got your mountains, your beaches, bustling cities, ancient traditions.
So where do we even begin with Mindanao? It sounds almost overwhelming. In a good way.
Well, why don't we try to narrow it down a bit?
Hmm.
Remember how much we love the idea of those secluded beaches in Aurora? What if we could find that same untouched beauty in Mindanao, but with an added layer of cultural immersion?
Okay, now you've got my attention. Tell me more.
Let's talk about Zamboanga. It's this peninsula in southwestern Mindanao. They call it Asia's Latin City because it's got this unique blend of Filipino and Spanish influences.
Wait, Asia's Latin city? Okay, now I need to know more.
Right, I know. It's this amazing mix of cultures which you see everywhere. Their architecture, their cuisine, even in the warmth of the people. Imagine yourself strolling through these vibrant markets, haggling for handcrafted souvenirs, then sitting down to a delicious seafood meal with a Spanish twist.
And what about those secluded beaches we were talking about? Does Zamboanga have those?
Oh yeah, Zamboanga is famous for its coastline. Think picture-perfect white sand beaches, palm trees, crystal clear turquoise water. Incredible marine life. It's paradise. And the best part is, these beaches are way less crowded than the more popular tourist spots.
Okay, stop. You're speaking my language. Unspoiled beauty, cultural immersion, a sense of adventure. It sounds like Zamboanga has it all.
It's like stepping into a hidden world,
Hmm.
you know? And the best part is, this is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Mindanao. This region is just waiting to be explored.
I'm honestly overwhelmed just thinking about all the incredible places we could go in the Philippines. We've covered so much ground today.
I know, right? We've talked about chasing waterfalls in Aurora, trekking through those lush rainforests.
And who could forget that amazing food, the Paz Batchoy in Iloilo, that inasal chicken in Bacolod.
And then there's the vibrant culture of the MassKara festival in Bacolod.
Don't forget those hidden beaches in Zamboanga.
See, the Philippines just keeps surprising us. The more you dig into these lesser-known places, the more you realize there's just so much more to discover.
It's like you said before, it's not about checking things off a list. It's about letting yourself get a little lost, embracing the unexpected, and finding those little moments of magic that really stay with you.
Exactly. And that actually brings me to a question for you. Out of everything we've talked about today, what speaks to you the most?
That's a good question.
Is it the call of adventure in Aurora, the warmth of the people on Iloilo, or maybe that inspiring resilience of Bacolod and their festival? Or is it the undiscovered beauty of a place like Zamboanga?
You know, it's funny. I started this whole deep dive set on the places I wanted to see, but now I realize it's more about the feeling, that sense of connection with the place, whether it's through the natural beauty, the people, or their stories.
And that's a really beautiful thing to keep in mind as you plan your own adventure, because it's not just about where you go, it's about how you experience it.
So, to everyone listening, let this be the push you need to plan that trip. Don't be afraid to go off the beaten path, embrace the unknown, and most importantly, enjoy every step of the journey. You never know what hidden gems you might find along the way.